Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And it is somewhat ironic, isn't it, that just earlier tonight we had our friend Hippo Eyes, Cyril Ramaphosa, sprouting hundreds of porky pies. You know what I'm talking about. Lies, lies, lies. For example, just one out of so many thousands. I'm not going to go there. He says, we have reduced unemployment and poverty. Really? This guy is delusional, completely delusional. Now, in the next week, I'm going to be having a live stream with Reyno de Beer from the Liberty Fighters Network. And he is wanting one of the key ANC people, Dlamini Zuma, to go behind bars for 6 months for contempt of court. Wouldn't that be a wondrous thing to see in 2021? I would love to see that. Anyway, let me just add a bit of meat to the bone here. Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma is facing another legal battle as pressure group Liberty Fighters Network wants her jailed over the extension of the COVID-19 lockdown and the tightening of its restrictions since last month. Now, Reyno's asked if we can have the live stream after the court ruling. And if we said, of course. No probs. Good job, Marlena. The group and its leader, Reyno de Beer, have also lodged an application of contempt of court against Dlamini Zuma and asked the North Gauteng High Court to sentence her to 6 months imprisonment over the extension of the state of nation disaster. Last year, de Beer and his organization successfully challenged some of the regulations during level 3 lockdown in June last year, but Dlamini Zuma is appealing the ruling with the Supreme Court of Appeal. De Beer slammed the move by the government to move the country to adjusted level 3 lockdown, despite the court ruling, whose appeal was still pending. He said while the move to level 1 in September was in line with the June court order, the enforcement of additional restrictions from December the 15th and the subsequent move to alert level 3 has constituted contempt of court on the part of Dlamini Zuma. Well, let's face it, these black privileged ANC cadres, they don't know what a court system is all about because they're above the law. They can do what they like. You know, anyway, let's see what happens. It's going to be very interesting. De Beer said in papers, this open contempt of court should not be tolerated. To prevent further bedlam, this court must intervene immediately to bring to an end such conduct by declaring that the respondent is indeed in contempt of court and impose a suitable penalty. In his founding affidavit, De Beer has asked the court to declare the extension of the lockdown to January the 15th. That is declared unconstitutional and invalid, and that no further extension of the state of disaster should be allowed. In his application, De Beer is opposing the compulsory wearing of masks and the closure of beaches. He has also asked the court to declare the compulsory closure of churches, mosques, synagogues, and other faith or religious-based institutions be declared unconstitutional and invalid. The matter is expected to be heard on January the 12th, so we'll be having the live stream after that date. Responding to De Beer's letter on behalf of Dlamini Zuma at the weekend, the Office of the State Attorney rejected the accusations and further blasted the court threat as plainly baseless, abusive, and vexatious. Yeah, because they're above the law. The OSA, or the Office of the State Attorney, said, as we have previously indicated, should you bring an urgent application against the Minister, this correspondence will be placed before the court and the Minister will seek a personal cost order against you. The OSA also argued that the introduction of adjusted alert level 3 was not the same as a lockdown level 3, which was declared unconstitutional last year. Well, I need to just say here, guys, that this corrupt ANC government, who are above the law, took absolutely no notice of the court ruling and went ahead regardless. This is the point. They think the law does not apply to them. They think they can be corrupt, mismanage, do whatever they like, totally screw South Africa, and still get away with it. No. This is where the moral compass is missing amongst these black privileged. Chapter 4 of the regulations, which previously governed Alert Level 3, has now been substituted with an entirely new Chapter 4 to govern the adjusted Level 3. The effect is that each of the 6 specific Level 3 regulations that the High Court declared unconstitutional and invalid have now either been repealed and replaced by new regulations as of December 29, the OSA said. So, this is what they're trying to say, guys. Okay, think about it this way. You got, in a legal document, you got, they put the numbers next to it. Okay, you got line 25 to 30 saying, this is what level 3 is all about. And that's the one that's been declared unconstitutional. The wording inside is pretty well exactly what is said in a new section in the same document, but it's no longer 25 to 30, it's now 35 to 40. And they're saying because it's in a different part of the document, even though it basically says the same thing, that it's okay. It bypasses what the judge said earlier. Now, I often talk about the L factor. Now, Law 101 says that if a certain regulation has been declared unconstitutional, it doesn't matter where you put it in the friggin' document. It's still the same friggin' thing. Put it in a different place, different line. That's BS. But this is the old L factor, the logic factor, missing in action right through the entire ANC ministry. They have absolutely got no clue. All they're interested in doing is stealing. Corrupt gangster state. That's all they are. They're a bunch of slime balls. That's all they are. Anyway, let's continue. De Beer has also told the court that the LFN, or Liberty Fighters Network, represents 144 pub and tavern businesses across the country that had lost more than 300 million rand in sales since the lockdown began. Now, I just want to go back a month, okay? Now, let's remember that Luthuli House itself, through a court order, was actually invaded by debt collectors who were trying to collect a debt that the ANC had not paid, and that include furniture, include property, include the cars, a whole lot. This ANC government are so corrupt that they can't even pay their own political party debts or salaries. This is an extraordinary state of affairs. This government has to go. Anyway, De Beer says in conclusion, in excess of 90% of these businesses state now, with the implementation of the latest liquor sale prohibition, that if the lockdown and effectively the liquor ban for on-site consumption are not lifted within the next few weeks, they will be forced to close their businesses. The OSA has defended the rationality of the lockdown. That's because the L factor is missing in action. Now, I just want to get back to that point about what De Beer says here. Okay, he's saying that 90% of businesses say they're going to shut down, go away, and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of jobs will be lost. Now, earlier tonight, in his speech for the 109th anniversary of the ANC. Ramaphosa! Let's remember this. Ramaphosa said, and I can just point you to the main Loving Life channel and you can see this for yourself. Ramaphosa says that the ANC has created jobs and it has taken people out of poverty. You know, we call them hippo eyes for a good reason. Because if it snorts like a hippo, if it speaks like a hippo, if it looks like a hippo, and if it lives in the swamp like a hippo, it's a hippo. And that fits Ramaphosa perfectly. Alright guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.